inside of me. Cut me open, bleed royalty. I've never known defeat. That's for the weak. For the throne, you better show loyalty. Nothing can stand in my way. I look it right in the face. I'm never slowing down. Yeah, I'm winning this race. Can't hold me back. Can't hold me down. It's time for me to own it now. I'm on a whole new level. I'm on a whole new level. I'm on a whole new level. Voltage rising, shock to see. Jury on the move, take the plea. I'm about to raise, so take a knee. It's reality, not make believe. Making waves, can't stop me now. I'm taking names, then I'll take a bow. Never throw the towel, I own the crowd. I'm coming in and I'm getting loud. Nothing can stand in my way. I look it right in the face. I'm never slowing down. Yeah, I'm winning this race. Can't hold me back. Can't hold me down. It's time for me to own it now. I'm on a whole new level. I'm on a whole new level. I'm on a whole new level. Never stopping, yeah, I got it, I won't slow down. Feeling mighty, got the power, I'm the king now. Never stopping, yeah, I got it, I won't slow down. Got the power, I'm the king now. I'm on a whole new level. I'm on a whole new level. I'm on a whole new level.
Gosh, Bill, folks, he gets mad at me when I touch the mic one freaking time. Or when I touch anytime I touch the mouse.
Dude,
I am in a hazard zone of possibly screwing up. And when he has control of it, this is like 3 out of 6 weeks. All right, welcome in, folks, to the CBC Down and Back podcast with your hosts here, Dylan and Bill. Let's go.
We just went through a whole thing talking about Zuka bags. If you're sitting on one right now, this stream and this stream only is a safe stream to do that. Next stream, if you are commenting and doing anything from your Zuka, you're banned from chat.
This is our last week with open-toed shoes here, folks. Bill's got his on. We are awaiting the approval of the new rules, and then we will never wear them again, actually. I'm not even going to wear them in public. I just want to be ready for center court at all times, Bill. That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
If I can walk in center court no matter what I'm doing, if I'm ready, closed-toed shoot at all times, I can't be caught off guard when I finally get my center court match.
Yeah, you're a kind of a big deal with it too, because sometimes you do the raking and you give people beers and stuff like that, so you need to be...
Wait, you're thinking as a commentator, you don't think I can get out there in my sandals, my Midwestern Jesus mandals, and even do a rake?
No.
Or a Scorholio change?
Absolutely
What
not.
happens to me? What is the rule here? What happens to me? Am I banned from the chat? Am I on a 10-minute broadcast timeout?
I think you're going to be replaced on the commenting for 10 minutes.
Dead bag.
Dead bag. You're banned. And there goes the... Dude, we have... Oh, and there goes the viewership because Dylan won't be comment. Oh, okay. All right, Nate. I got you, dude. I got you.
That's not what he's talking about, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. Let's think not.
All
right, folks. Hey, we got a lot to get to.
Yeah,
we want to get the winner circle going. We want to get the point chart going for Tulsa recap. We want to get the announcements for this week, and then we want to roll straight into the big stuff with the CBC Family Feud. So let's get it rolling with the.
We got like 100 winners.
Bill.
We're gonna do this very quick. This is rapid fire. Dylan is naming the names, saying congratulations, and we're going as quick as you can.
Okay, here we go.
3, 2, 1, go.
Scotty Ball, Hannibal, Phoenix. Let's go.
Congrats. Next.
That's Hefty Lefty and Amari right there throwing
Very
the
good.
elixirs.
I love it. Next.
Who do we got there? Tori, my man Tori, and his new buddy Bub right there throwing the Ronins down in Texas. Let's go, folks.
Clean.
That's me and Ron down there at Three Rivers. Let's go. Ron got that double dip. Come on.
Dude, that's awesome. You guys won that.
Yeah, we did. There's Hefty Lefty again and Beard Better Than Bill's guy. Ronins, let's go. Tyler Whitmer, Carbons, Louisville area. Let's go.
Like it.
Tori again in the CBC shirt. That's my dog.
The only reason we put him on here, he doesn't have bags, but he's got the CBC shirt
But
on.
he's got some Ronins. He's throwing in Dallas Major, man.
Yeah, that's
He's going to
cool.
get after it, making the comeback.
Next.
Who is that, Bill?
Andy Anderson.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell. I was way over here, dude. It's because he's not wearing a CBC hat.
Yeah. It's
That's why.
backwards fitted. Yeah.
Yep.
Andy Anderson
Hey,
throwing
Phoenix
the Phoenix is taking
my
it down.
dog,
Number
Andy.
1. Let's go.
Let's go.
This is-
Oh, that's Tucker Meadows. Let's
you
go.
go.
CBC Dead Reckons. Let's go. Tucker, first time on the stream. Welcome in, brother.
Next.
That's me again. Get me out of here. And
Yeah.
Jeremy, my man Jeremy. Jeremy had a strong back this day. Carried me all the way to the championship, folks. We went undefeated.
Next.
Zach Rush. Let's go in the Whoopi hoodie. Throwing the
Congrats, big
carbons.
dog.
Let's
First
go,
place.
Rush.
Next.
Who we got there? Is that Todd? Todd Choate?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
and
Todd
his
Choate.
partner.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm forgetting his name right now. It might be Rob. It might be Ron. It might be Dale. It's one of those names,
Steve,
dude.
Mike.
Yeah,
or
you're
John.
covering them. You're
If you
covering
hit
them.
them
It's
all,
got to be one
that's
of those.
it.
It's got to be one of them. I met him. There's your wife, Bill,
Yep.
Steph, and Mike
Tearing it
Neal.
up. Tearing it up.
Let's
Dave.
go.
It was a Dave.
Gosh,
Oh,
we didn't
man.
say Dave. Dang it.
That's the only.
Dang it. That was close.
Thanks, Nate. Appreciate that, man. My wife taking second place. You took first place there. My wife took second.
Mm-hmm.
I took last.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was
We
bad.
don't have to talk about it.
Yeah, we're not going to. Nate
Nate
Allen,
Allen
Austin
and Bickford, they were there too. They were there at the Three Rivers Banger.
throwing the OG surges. Not really OG, but the new OG.
Yeah, I put the work on them.
Yeah. Oh,
Bad.
did you?
Bad.
Todd again, man.
Yeah, oh, I forgot this guy's name. I was going to look it up too, but he's a great dude. I want to say it's Connor, but I could be completely
no,
wrong.
I don't think it's Connor because I met him too. I met
He
him
looks
too.
like a Connor.
Nate Allen might know.
Nate Allen might know.
Yeah. Let me know who that is, Nate.
The
Definitely.
Puckets, let's go. Took down Coed in Tulsa. And a couple unmentioned people here. Gary Bear Paul took second in singles.
Yep.
Gary Bear Paul Sebastian Barger took second in doubles. So no pictures
Yeah,
there
we didn't
for
get
those
their
guys.
picture. Yep.
But hey, we'll talk about them once we get to the recap of Tulsa. But hey, congratulations to everybody throwing CBC bags. Hey, if you win, if you take a top 3 with CBC bags, send the photo in. You'll be in the winner's circle next week. We appreciate the continued support from everybody throwing our freaking bags,
Heck
man.
yeah, a lot
Look
of
at how
number
many
ones.
Look how many people are on the podium every week, man.
Yeah,
They're
I
freaking
think
crushing it.
We're
with
gonna have to
CBC
start
bags.
restricting the pictures to just first places. I think.
It might come to
There's
that
gonna get
someday,
too many.
folks. It might be so. Hey, but CBC bags will elevate your PPR by at least 0.42 minimum.
It will. And we've been
Ask
putting
anybody.
the trophy room together too. So at some point we're going to show you a little bit more about the CBC 10,000 square foot building that we just recently bought and we're now doing our podcast from and stuff like that. We're going to make a trophy room. There's going to be a wellness facility and everything for our top pros and stuff like that to come and use it as they please. It's 24-hour service in there, so we will have that coming soon.
Why is
So,
Hannah going to be upset with us?
I don't know.
What happened? We had her on here.
Did she? Yeah,
This is the first one.
they were first.
I don't know, Bill. You're clicking out all of them?
Yeah, we're looking.
Yeah, well, I don't know what happened. Hannibal Lecter.
Boom,
They are.
right there, Scotty and Hannibal.
I don't get it. She's got her jersey on. Looking good. Power
Looking
couple.
real good. That's
Let's
what I'm
go.
freaking talking about.
All right.
All right.
Moving on.
Points chart. Here we
Oh, he said failed. Yep. Scotty, 5-minute ban in the
go.
chat.
Yeah, Scotty.
Timeout.
Yeah, 30
Timeout,
seconds, no
sir.
talking.
That's 30-second timeout. All right. Hey, folks, let's go. CBC family picks point chart right here every week. Myself, Bill, and Phil. As long as there's a major this week and we go at it for points, we pick a division, pick a person who's going to win it or we think's going to win it. Then you get first place points 10, second 9, third 8, fourth 7. After that, the players are going to tie in their bracket, so they get 2 points down. Fifth is 5 points. Seventh is 3 points. Ninth is 1 point. No participation trophies here in CBC. Got to take a top 10 if you want some points, folks. Let's go. All right, Tulsa was a freaking banger. Only 60-something singles, but hey, it was stacked. It was stacked out there, folks.
I almost beat you guys, I think, in this. I'm pretty close. You and I are pretty close in points.
Yeah.
Phil didn't do that.
Bill
well.
will pass me right at the end of this whole thing someday. I won't put together the points. He hasn't put together points accumulative since who knows when. Like, I don't know, November.
I'm way behind. I know I'm way behind.
All right, but Martina takes down women's. Megan takes second. Deborah third. Deb Smith, that is. Lindsay Burgess fourth. And then Rebecca Grimes and Dana Babello tie for fifth. Congratulations to those
Congrats,
ladies.
everybody. Thank you,
out
Martina,
there
getting me a first place.
in Tulsa. Yeah, Martina throwing that gas. I think she's got 4 major wins now. 3 or 4. I don't know. Kim Dice would know if she's in here. Kim Dice always knows.
Dude, Coleman, I can't believe you, Coleman. You told me Gary was better.
You did say that, actually, Coleman.
Davy
That's
Jones,
true.
what's going on, big dog? Hey, I called you yesterday, man. You didn't answer.
Bill
You
did
didn't
great in seniors as Mr. Mendoza takes down
Yep.
first place. The Shredder, my pick, took 7th. And Phil's pick, Carl Stenger, I guess didn't show up. So I don't know. I don't know where Carl was at. But second place was the Mississippi Ninja
Yep.
himself. He's got to start picking himself sometimes.
He does. He really
Third,
does.
Mike Worth. Fourth, Kevin Irwin. Fifth, Michael Mann. And Win Dauberstein. So congratulations to the Kane Dwellers. I appreciate those seniors coming in and getting down on the
Florentino was
boards.
purely a stats pick.
Oh, yeah. He's a beast, though. He did
Yeah.
great in Oregon.
Yeah.
Okay. Juniors, my man, Parker Burgett gets his first purple jersey. Let's go,
That's
Park.
freaking awesome.
Parker Burgett, folks.
No more slides.
Finally
though.
gets it
no
done.
more slides.
No more slides. We'll get there. We'll get there,
We'll get
right,
there.
Bill?
Yeah.
Second place, Spencer Garner. Third place, Bryce Jefferson. So us three, me, Bill, and Phil, we do sweep the juniors division. Solid stuff. Fourth place, John Curtis, hometown guy. Fifth place tied, Angel Burrows and Wyatt Wanika. All right, co-ed. So congratulations to the kids there. Really appreciate them coming out and drinking some Mountain Dew, getting after it.
Jerry Stallions, what's going on, big dog? Good to see you in here.
Co-ed. Bill, my resilience pays off with picking the Puckets.
Mm-hmm.
I get patronized for this, but they are my favorites. I'm sorry. I love Crashley. I love Russell and Martina. I love Kim and Chad. The Puckets are my freaking people, man.
I know.
I got
you
the
gotta
soft
say
spot.
it louder so they hear you.
No, I gotta say it soft, so like, cause that's how I feel about it. You
Okay,
know.
All right.
Hey, but they freaking get it
They
done.
did. Yeah, they got
folks.
it done, man.
Let's go, co-ed
Megan's been on
champ,
another
son.
level.
Yeah, she's a
Megan's
freaking
been on
beast.
another level.
All right, second place, Dana Bavello, Trey Howard. They surprised us this weekend. Second place, Russell and Martina take third. Charity Jackson and Bill Jackson take fourth. That's a great finish from the Jacksons right there.
Yep.
Tied for fifth, Patricia Gonzalez, Smiley, and Seabass. And then Deb Smith and Gary Bearpaw. So a couple of our people down there in the fifth place spots had a great. That means we had 3 out of the top 6 teams right there, Bill,
That's
for
awesome.
CBC there. That's awesome.
Richard
Yeah.
Jones, what's going on, dude?
What up, Rich? All right, next, doubles.
Mary Schaefer's in here. What's going on? dude?
Seabass and Bearpaw take second place.
Yep.
My pick, Bryce and Derek, take 17th. Not what I was looking for, but it's okay. It happens.
Well, Bryce, check in. What's going on, dude? What happened? Tell me about it.
Xavier and Wilson in the chat.
Wilson, what up?
Hey, great weekend, brother.
Wilson, man, they were mad that we were calling you Wilson. the
Oh,
whole
they
time.
were mad on the stream. They didn't have the inside joke on it. Like
No,
they didn't
I
have
know.
they didn't have the 270 scoop on what was going on. But first place was Grant Upchurch and Chase Lester, the Texas boys. We were told to look out for them.
Yeah.
I mean, and I knew they could throw well.
Yeah.
And I definitely don't root against anybody. They did great.
Yeah,
they
did
did
really
absolutely
well.
great. I don't think they
I
did
watched
as
them on the
well.
live stream.
Yeah, they didn't do as well as they wanted to in singles, but the singles field was freaking crazy. It was,
Yeah.
I mean, it was insane. But they take first. I wanted to look up who took third. I want to say Craig and Tyler. I just got to be certain here. Nope, Matt Davis and Craig. That's who it was. Batman and Craig.
Okay, yeah.
So King and Batman, and then fourth Scott Beck and William Cobb. Fifth Matt Ledbetter, Blake Justice, and Zach Faulkner and Levi Haddock. Who Levi Haddock? He was freaking tearing it up. And that brings us to singles. The champion, my guy, Amish, gets it done. Double dips, my actual guy.
Joey, I think that's you, big dog. Turn the volume up.
Yeah, sound is good.
Sound should be good. Yeah, it's good on our end anyway.
My actual guy, Bearpaw, gets double dipped. And it was sad to watch on Scoreholio. Like, I kept watching and looking and watching the live feed, and then I wouldn't look at the live feed and come back, and I was just like, dang.
Dude, my boy Sammy B's in here, man.
Benfer. Get out of here, dude.
Benfer. Hey,
Nobody know. Don't even bring that word up again, Benfer.
we're going on a rafting trip.
Oh my gosh.
We're going on a rafting trip.
This isn't rafting. This is freaking
Okay,
cornhole.
all right, let's go.
All right. Third place, Levi Haddock, who threw absolute gas out there. I know he's won an ACO Open bracket. Takes third here at the Tulsa Major. just saying the ACO is not as easy as
Yeah.
everybody says it
That's
is.
true.
You know, and I just wanted to throw that out there. You know, Chase Lester, my pick, my passion pick. He takes a 9th. He's TCL ranked number 1 ranked in TCL. I don't
And
know
he
what the
took a
stats.
9th?
Took a
Wow.
9th,
Yeah.
which I think he's a great player, and maybe he's a little off a couple games, right? That happens all the time. But I'm just saying, I think some people come in from other leagues and expect to clean up, and
Yeah,
it's
and they
like,
don't.
dude, everybody knows there's good players
Right.
everywhere, you know, and the players have respect for the other players. It's just sometimes they don't have respect for the organization, you know, and
That
I
could
think
be.
that's
Yeah.
kind of a problem. But hey, sometimes you get humbled, you know, and I think some people got a little bit of humble pie this weekend, and I like that.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
Sorry.
I mean, this wasn't a major with 500 people at it either. You know what I mean? Just
Right.
think if there was one with
62.
500 people,
62,
exactly,
which-
to where it could be, you know, absolutely insane to try to beat those brackets and go up.
Right.
And maybe maybe you get an easier bracket, but being the overall winner is going to be pretty tough.
Mm-hmm. And something with Tulsa Bills, they were 2 people short of having a split bracket.
Yeah.
Had to have 64. They had 62 players. You know, that's
Yeah.
rough.
Jacob
That's
Coleman
rough.
says reverse Mamba got him.
Yeah, Xavier Wilson, a.k.a. Xavier Wilson Williams, takes 4th. Great finish
Yeah,
for him.
great finish.
And then tied for 5th, our dog, Reverse Mamba, Jacob Coleman, and our other dog, King of Cornhole, Craig Irvin. They
Yeah.
tie for 5th. So, great weekend out there. Some absolute beasts. I mean, Spencer and Martina in 7th. You have people like Chase Lester, Chase Puckett, Seabass, and Bryce at 9th. I mean, it was loaded down. Loaded down.
Yeah.
Everybody throwing gas. I mean, the PPRs, Bill, I wanted to take a look at this.
Yeah, so Seabass was top PPR.
Yeah. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 people throwing over a 10 out of 62.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's seriously good numbers. That is great numbers
Out of
right
62
there.
people, that's
Yeah.
that's insane.
All right. Passion picks. Your pick takes 17th, Bill, but a good showing for Gary. Good
Yep.
showing. My pick, Chase Lester, takes a 9th, gets me a point. I appreciate that, Chase. A little Hershey kiss right there.
I should have picked Jacob Coleman.
You should have picked Coleman.
Jacob, I'm sorry.
I had
I'm
Coleman.
sorry.
You made me
My
choose.
fault.
Did
I
you
should've
make
picked-
me switch?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you did.
Freaking piece of crap, dude.
All right, we good?
Yep, we're good, folks. No major this weekend, so that is going to do it for picks. Next weekend, Manchester.
Right. Let's get on to Jack's Hacks.
Let's go. All right, Bill, go ahead.
Man, that's the laundry room right there, dude. Nice hotel, nice laundry room. I don't even remember what this hotel is called. Do you remember?
Extended stay, American Suites, Peoria North.
Peoria North. Look, they got the layout of the room and everything like
Oh, that
that.
just threw me for a loop. I thought it was a
A
small
little bit of a
cabinet.
kitchen there because it's a suite.
Kitchenette.
Yeah. Coffee in the morning, hopefully free,
Is that premium roast?
complimentary. Let's look at the, what do we do, bad and then good or good and then bad?
Yeah, folks, so if you're going to Peoria and you haven't booked, this is Jack's travel hack right here. Best bang for your buck. I believe it was a 7 out of 10 on Booking.com. I believe it was $70 a night, $69 or $71 a night. Great deal right there. Yeah, let's do the bad review first.
Bad review first. Okay, here we go. Seaside, whatever. Wrote it on August 2023, so I mean, it is a little while ago, right? I
About
mean,
6 months.
Yeah, about 6 months ago, but this guy says if he could leave a 0, he would. Place was extremely disappointing. I mean, he probably had to have a lot of high hopes to get there, but, you know, he said room was filthy, floor left my socks black, crumbs and dirt everywhere. The shower had long hair stuck to the walls. The sink in the bathroom had dirt and dust all around it. Fridge was dirty, food spilled inside. Kitchen sink wasn't clean. Room itself smelled horrible. The walls are super thin and you can hear people in the next room over. Spend extra money and stay somewhere else is what Seaside said there. I don't know. Maybe his room did, you know, maybe they did forget to clean it. That's
Maybe.
what it. That's
Yeah, that's
literally
what
what
it
it
sounds
sounds like. Although if the beds were made, you know, who knows? But
Maybe
it's not-
somebody was lazy that day. It's a bad day.
Yeah.
You know, all like, I'm just going to make the beds and get out of here. We'll just take that 0-star review real quick.
Yeah, I don't know, but the good review here. Let's go here, and this one was February 2023, so this was way
A
even
year
before
ago,
that,
yeah,
about
14
a year.
months ago, yeah.
Wow. Says excellent service. The rooms were immaculately clean. Really enjoyed my stay and look forward to staying at ESA. That's the, what is that? Something Suites
Embassy
America.
Suites America?
I don't know. In Peoria North again. The premises and landscaping were maintained very
Extended
well.
stay America.
Extended. That's it.
Okay.
And there was no trash, cigarette butts, or overfilled trash cans. So, I mean, I don't know, rooms being immaculately clean, that's what I'd expect going to a hotel, right? I wouldn't expect something absolutely terrible in it anyway, but for 70-something bucks a night, I'm going to go with, I don't even know how to pronounce that name, 808 Alika?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know either.
I'm going to go with that one.
Yeah.
That's Jack's hack right there, man.
This is the extended
This is the
stay
place
America
to stay.
Suites, Peoria North, folks. So if you're going to Peoria, this is the place to stay based off Jack Harcrow. If it's terrible, you can beat him up.
Yeah, exactly. If it's bad, talk to Jack about it.
You hold Jack accountable.
Matthew Cagg says, I lived in Peoria for 23 years. Stay at the Sleep Inn.
I don't trust it.
I don't trust it either. I don't know. If you lived there.
With no research. Like, I live in Clarksville right now. There's no way I could tell you which hotel's best.
Exactly.
There's no way.
That's what I'm saying, because we live here. We don't
Right.
we don't go stay at the hotels. I've stayed at a couple hotels here right when I moved here just to find this place, but that was over 10 years ago.
Right.
So there's no way I could make an educated guess on something like that. But
That is Jack's hacks, folks. So next week we will have, I don't even know what major is after Peoria. Jack will send it to us. We'll have it for you. I don't remember which major it is.
I
Maybe
know.
Toledo?
Wait. Bossier.
Oh, Shreveport Bossier.
It's Bossier.
No.
They make a big deal to say it's Bossier. I'm going to say
No.
Bossier
It's
because that's what I think it is.
Bossier.
Yeah.
Bossier.
Yeah.
You got to make it
Shreveport,
legit.
Bossier.
Okay.
All right, let's move on.
Got a couple tournaments we want to talk about here. So I don't know if I have all the details again.
Jack says, bring me all the complaints. I'll call the manager. I love it. Well, I also stay V with friends. What is it? Oh, you stay there on vacation with friends. I got you.
Okay. Bill, you ready?
Yep.
First tournament we're going to talk about, the Rudy Jones. This is the Memorial Rudy Jones 3rd annual Cornhole tournament put on by Jack Harcrow himself down in Gadsden, Alabama, March 22nd and 23rd. So just a couple weeks away. Friday is going to be the social blind draw, $10, and the social bring your own partner, also $10, and the raffle is on Friday. Saturday, March 23rd is the competitive blind draw, which competitive is the highest level, folks. Nice. And you going for that?
You keep going.
Jeez, son.
It's just a little guy.
And then the co-ed, $30 a team. And then the main event, bring your own partner, $60 a team, airmail challenge, and the raffle on Saturday, folks. That's the Rudy Jones. I believe something like 60 or 80 players are signed up. It's going to be an awesome event. You can make it to Gadsden. Reach out to Jack. Get yourself registered. Go support something great. 90% payouts here at this tournament, folks.
Yeah.
It is absolutely awesome and for a great cause.
Did you see that Jack called out Tennessee earlier this week?
What, we didn't have anybody?
Yeah, exactly. He said there's 4 states joining this tournament right now. I believe it was Louisiana, obviously Alabama, maybe
Georgia.
Georgia, and maybe Florida or something
Maybe
like that.
Mississippi, because you got Dougie
It could have
Fresh.
been, it's probably Mississippi.
I know Dougie
also.
Fresh is going.
Yeah, but he's, he's saying Tennessee's not going to be there, not going to show up, not going to do anything. This is one of those tournaments where I think you and I need to go and just smoke them.
I'd love to, Bill. I don't know what we're doing that weekend.
Yeah, we're probably not going to make it. Nah, I'd love to go and
I
just
wish.
smoke Jack, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Next tournament here. Ready?
Yep.
This one's crazy too.
This is what they're calling the Super Regional on April 6th in Martin, Tennessee, put on by Chad and Sarah Yates. We're going to be doing the live stream out there, folks. This thing is free entry for singles. Listen again. Free entry for singles.
It is
anybody,
ridiculous.
everybody. Not just let's draw a name and somebody gets one free singles ticket. Every single person that wants to play
Right.
singles gets in for free with a guaranteed $1,000 payout to the singles division. I mean, that's absolutely bonkers,
insane.
Bill.
It's
Never
insane.
heard of in my life anything
$1,000
like
in the
this.
pot. Yep.
And every other division is also going on at this Super Regional.
Right.
So there is still doubles and all that stuff, which you got to pay for like regular, but singles is absolutely free with a $1,000 payout. It's worth it just to get down there, maybe get lucky and get yourself a 3rd place and grab a couple of bucks.
My guess is Interstate 69 Motorsports had a lot to do with that extra money that goes in there. So that is, who is sponsoring it. We're going to be very happy to put their logo up on stream and commentate all day for you guys that couldn't make it or, that just kind of want to watch some cornhole that day anyway. But, yeah, I did a big shout out to them if they're the ones that are kind of backing that tournament, because that is insane to get in there for free with a $1,000 payout.
Absolutely wild.
Crazy. I haven't seen that before.
I haven't seen it. I've been around about 3 years or so.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nate Allen's ready to go to the Rudy Jones with me to play the blind draw. Let's go, Nate.
Let's go.
I love it. There's probably like 10 other partners, too, that I'd like to play with down there. Jacob Coleman says, Craig Irvin, we should make a trip to Martin.
You guys should.
Yeah, this one's...
You guys should.
This one's kind of crazy.
It's going to be loaded.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to move into Family Feud here, folks. This is what you all have been waiting for. Got a lot of topics. We got your comments ready to be pulled up.
Yep.
We're talking everything center court and then some. Let's get it.
You ready?
I'm ready.
That wasn't supposed to be up there.
I can't even take that serious. Who is that guy,
That's
man?
Mike Ornell.
Mike Cornhole.
That's Mike Ornell.
It looks like he's missing his buddy Will Hurt.
Yeah, he's ready to go to center court, man.
Yeah,
That
he
dude's
is ready. He's got his cooler.
It's a redneck Zuka.
Yeah, I mean that's a real Zuka. If you could have a section for bags in there in a waterproof case, right, with your beers around it.
Yeah.
Keep your bags cool in case they get too hot. You don't want them to heat up. You know what I mean? You don't want to scare your opponents. You got your bags on fire, but you got your beers in there. You got the flops on, of course. You got to keep the toes free. You want to keep the airflow going through the toes to make sure that you're completely aerodynamic in your throw. Looks like maybe a cigarette or a joint there behind the ear. Yeah, behind the ear, just in case you want to spark up right there on center court, relieve a little bit of stress. Maybe you just gave up a 6-piece. Just hey, no big deal. We'll just spark it up real quick. There's no issue there.
Yeah.
And definitely got to have the gun show as well, right? I mean, don't forget about the 1994 tribal right there. The folks need to see this.
That's about what it is.
People need to know that I'm serious. I've had tattoos for a long time, even when they were bad. I'm just kidding. Hey, but this is Bill ready for center court.
That's
if you
Mike
didn't know,
Cornhole.
Mike Cornhole, Bill's cousin.
Yeah. He's outside right now practicing for center court.
Yeah, same outfit. He's sweating a little bit.
You gotta love the shirt though, man. The shirt is the best part. Beer, bags, and boards on the front with an American flag on it, dude. I mean, nothing says cornhole like that freaking shirt right there. Cut off sleeves, beautiful. Absolutely love it.
What up, Mark Smothers? Appreciate it, brother.
It's funny, we went out to take a picture of Mike Cornhole, and it's been like a little cloudy all day and stuff like that, but the sun came out for like 10 seconds to be able to take that picture, and it was wonderful.
No, it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
All right, so folks, with that, center court etiquette is now the hot topic this week, right? Center court is getting a makeover through the players' look and feel of center court, right? That's kind of what we took from it.
Miggy says, looks like Mike Lavelle.
Oh, it does look like Mike Lavelle.
Look
That's
like
a fact. Get this.
A little more hair on the top of the head than Lavelle's got. Man.
Get the shares out there, folks. This is about to be fun. Get the shares out there. Give us a like. Let's go. But hey, Bill, where do you want to start with this? So, we want to start like with all the things that are new.
Do you want me to start by pissing everybody off?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to piss everybody off right now. I like the rules. I like the rules. I do. I think they are appropriate for what the ACO is trying to be. I like the rules. And I know I know that is one of those opinions that a lot of people aren't going to like because, you know, the argument on the other side really is, the only argument you can have, we should be able to do whatever makes us comfortable.
Whatever we want, really.
Right, whatever makes us...
Right.
That's the argument from the other side, right? Is that like, oh, I should be able to wear open-toed shoes because that's what I've thrown in the past 10 years. That's what I'm comfortable with. And I can't make the adjustment to throw in actual shoes or something like that, right? That's the argument. And I just don't think that's a good argument. I think their argument, the ACOs, was trying to be professional.
Yep.
Right? Especially for the outside people looking in on that live stream court. Now, on any other court, they didn't ban Zukas. They didn't ban open-toed shoes. They didn't ban Ace Rogers' hair. Mike Ornhole's hair.
Right.
Did you pick that one up?
What?
I said Ace Rogers and then Mike Ornhole.
No,
corrected him.
no.
Oh, come on,
Same.
man. I love it.
Ace Rogers' hair is a little better than Mike Cornhole's.
It might be.
Just a little bit.
It might be.
Just a little bit.
But I think on center court, when other people are watching and you have potential sponsors and things like that, like we always kind of circle back to this conversation. I don't want to start the whole conversation out like this, but we circle back to it. What is going to make the ACO and the sport grow?
Grow.
Right?
Yep.
And how can, a big thing is how can players get paid more, right? And it can't just be a magic wand running and saying, oh yeah, we're just going to throw in an extra 20 grand to this tournament because, America. You can't do that. Like, you
Right.
have to have that money come from somewhere, and I think sponsors looking from
Sponsors
the outside,
is the
especially
key.
with professional-looking people throwing, I think that's right. I do.
Got the Woodford folks.
What do you? Okay, so you
But-
go
but,
for
okay.
it for a minute.
So I agree with you. I like rules for the sake of rules, right? Because the more you leave up for interpretation, which is kind of how it's been for a long time, right? The only thing that was in the rule book this year, folks, is no sleeveless shirts and no apparel from another national cornhole organization. Those are the only written rules, dress code wise.
Right.
That is it. Nothing
On
about barefoot.
their website.
Nothing
I
about,
haven't
right.
seen the rule book. I don't know if they emailed that. I don't know what they do with that, or they updated that one. But on the website, it still currently says
Yeah.
no sleeveless shirts and no other.
No other apparel
Yeah.
or attire from another national cornhole.
Yeah. I checked it
league or
today because I wanted to
organization.
pull it up, but
I
I
did
didn't
too.
because they're probably still
So
changing.
I like rules for the sake of rules, right? So that there's something that's uniform, there's a standard, it's easy, right? It's like, okay, how do I need to look when I get on center court? This is it. This is it. This is the things that we don't want to see. And this is where it's going to draw the line. This is it. And I'm okay with that. I understand people have thrown in open-toed shoes, and that's what they prefer. I don't think it's that big of a switch. And I mean, CBC made a comment earlier on a post. If y'all want to make ESPN someday, if that's your goal, or let's say the ACO is trying to get sponsorship from a television program and get themselves on TV like CBS or something like that, and the rule is closed-toed shoes, you should be prepared for that. You shouldn't have to switch and go, well, I've thrown in slides for 6 years straight, and now I'm going to throw in tennis shoes for the first time because I'm making my big TV appearance.
Right.
And let's say you don't throw bad just because it's in your head. It might not actually affect your throw.
You're absolutely right. That's one of those things that does get in people's heads, like, oh,
Right.
I do play in slides all the time, so this is actually a detriment to my game and this and that. And that may be the case. It may be. Start playing with shoes today. I promise you, it'll take you less than 2 hours and you'll have made the adjustment.
Right.
Like,
the only
it's not-
thing that I dislike about the open-toed shoes rule on itself is the same thing Sean O'Brien says. If the goal is to look professional,
Yeah.
right, then Crocs, right, what should also make that list of things that are trying to have a professional look. Because at this point, a slipper is closed-toed, right? So you could wear slippers,
Okay.
house slippers, onto center court, right? And if the goal is to look professional, to attract sponsors, to grow the ACO and grow the sport, then I think it has to be expanded on a little more than just open-toed shoes. But you also don't want the rule to get so extensive to where you need to wear shorts down to this length.
Penny
and
loafers.
Penny, yeah, dress shoes.
Yeah.
And, so it is a slippery slope, but I'm okay with rules being in place.
So you say that when I was young, long time ago, going to school and stuff like that, especially middle school and things, we weren't allowed to wear open-toed shoes, and that's what they deemed them. You know what I mean? Was
Yeah.
open-toed shoes. So there's always like little nuanced things and stuff like that, but it's not a term that's ambiguous, really. I mean, that's a term that has been used for 30 years at least.
Right.
All right.
No,
I'm
I agree.
40. So I could you go deeper into that rule and say like, oh, the sandals with the little toe things are okay, but this is not okay? Like, you could, but I think you get a little crazy. I think the bigger point is just, hey, no open-toed shoes. That's
Right.
it. Crocs, if you have the strap-on back up, I think they're okay. If that's down, I don't think
So you got to
it's
have Crocs
okay.
in four-wheel drive. That's what they call it.
Is that
or
what they
sport
call it?
mode?
Yeah, I don't know.
Those are the
I
terms
As
for it.
long as the back is up, you're okay.
Back strap.
Yeah.
You got to be strapped up.
I'm joking. I don't know about Crocs. I've never really worn them or anything. I was going to buy a pair. But if you have like a bunch of pins and stuff all over them, which I see a lot of people do, probably not okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And that's the only thing is using the term professional is very subjective, right? What you think is professional and what I think is professional. And I use this example with the text with somebody earlier today.
Yeah.
In the military, folks, you're not allowed to have your hands in your pockets, like just resting in your pockets. That's a rule because it's deemed unprofessional.
Right.
But let's say you're a businessman, it is a actual professional look and a look of I'm trying to think of the word, of professionalism or whatever, to have one hand in your pocket while you're having a conversation. It's almost like you're in charge of the conversation if you're in a nice
like in
business.
Europe or something?
Right, well, like that's
Where they
just the
have like
thing.
those rope watches and stuff? Whatever they're
Right.
called.
It's just a deal of
Yeah.
perception and subjectivity to what is professionalism. But you have to have rules so that people know. But let's catch up with the chat real quick.
Yeah,
Bill.
no, I just lost everything. Curtis Amos, man, don't they sell sleeveless shirts at the ACO store? I don't know if they do or they don't sell those at the store. A lot of people like sleeveless shirts. Like they could be comfortable, but on center court, you're gonna have to change it. Just because they sell something doesn't mean it doesn't mean you should.
Just
be able to
because they
bring
sell it doesn't mean everything's approved for center court.
Yeah, no, but if they do, yeah, that's. I mean, I'm not even gonna say it's a bad look. I don't think that's a bad look. Like a lot of people like Lavelle, and he's really the only one I know that much. Him and Mike Cornhole love sleeveless.
Yeah, I mean you got Histner.
Yeah, Sean O'Brien should ban Crocs too.
Yeah,
You know, so, I'll be there with my shades on. Look, they haven't said anything about shades or anything like that.
Shades are
may
still
be
good to go.
okay. Yeah,
I mean,
those
we'll
may
see.
be okay.
We will see.
Look, I don't want it to be so professional that people gotta wear freaking nice, khaki shorts and a button down. I don't want it to be professional like that whatsoever. I think a little bit of swag, having shades on and stuff like that is cool. Open-toed shoes, it looks like you walked in off the street.
Right.
And they don't want that. Like Mike Ornhole, he looks professional for the backyard circuit. You know what I mean?
He looks professional.
The ACO's not the backyard circuit, so that's why you got to change it.
He looks professional at your local trailer park in Southeast Alabama. That's what he looks like.
He's taking everybody's money and beers out there, man. He's taking all the Social Security checks.
Todd Gammon says, I like it, but if you're going to have a center court, everything should be live streamed. I mean, we agree, and we'll get to that.
Todd, I want to get into that here in a minute.
And Scotty Ball's
100% agree.
almost putting something on top of it. I like the rules also. If they put effort into broadcasting and handling this league like professional athletes, he says, but they don't. No rules get enforced top to bottom, from regionals being shady to foot fouls, I think he means, to whatever other rules they have. Rules not being enforced makes the league weak. And we're going to get into this. I mean, we are going to get into what we think
those were some of the things on that other post I wanted to read,
which we hope we get into.
Yeah.
It's under the live stream section. Yes, sir, Eric. That is correct.
That's where it should be. I didn't see it under the live stream section earlier today when I looked.
Right.
But
Miguel says, are they going to enforce it? It sounds like they're going to enforce it. I promise you that, Bill and I have every intention to enforce live stream rules on center court if we are the center court broadcasters.
If we're actually broadcasting it, 100%. They said that they were going to kind of print a list and post it on the center court, just so you knew, or everybody knew, hey, before you get to this court, change these couple things, or Zuka bags aren't allowed, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. But go ahead, keep going. But it's going to be posted there, so everybody will know the rule right when they walk up to it. I would just say, hey, if you throw in slides all day, this and that, bring a change of shoes.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, and I think I do want to move past the open-toed shoe situation. Rest in peace to your slides, to your sandals. The only thing that I would like to see added on top of this is that it's for the whole tournament. Because I don't like somebody having to have two pairs of shoes, and you got to change to go to center court. And there's a lot of questions that come with this center court etiquette stuff, which I'd rather cover at the end once we've covered everything. But I have a few questions in my head and that were brought to my DMs that I would like to say. But
you didn't tell me about those.
You would know what it is.
Okay.
You would understand, but we'll talk about it.
Wait, who said this first one here? That was Scotty, wasn't it?
Yeah. Enforcing rules is huge, folks, but I think that everybody has to do self-policing, like was said, and I think that, COs at the tournaments need to be officials. So if you're a certified official of the sport and you're at a major, you should be enforcing rules. Anything you see out of place. It's kind of your job.
For it, I don't mind rules being enforced, especially on center court. I would hope that rules are enforced all over the place. Mm-hmm. My issue with the rule enforcement or the officials, and I believe this is probably the best way to do it, is have a couple roaming COs or a couple roaming people that nobody knows that they're an official walking around and just checking. These people can check 20 courts at once, right? They're not going to see every throw. But that is their job, to walk there and look for what we would deem, in the military, they would say infractions or something that's what they would say. But they would be looking for this and then quietly talking to that person right there, being like, hey, I just noticed this on your last freaking game, right? You need to stop doing it. That way, at any major, there are anonymous officials walking around. That at least puts this big, veil over, oh man, somebody could be watching me right now. I'm just just something like that. I think it's important. And
I agree.
That's where I sit with it. That way you don't have to hire 20 people for 20 courts. There's one person for 20 courts.
You got the fire marshal of majors.
Right.
You know?
And it's not that big of a deal. This person, nobody knows who they are
Not
until
the fire
they
marshal,
say
the
something.
airplane marshal, the U.S. air marshal, right? Nobody knows who the air marshal is on the plane.
That's
there's one on
but
there,
you
right?
know there's one
You
on
know
there.
there's one on there, so you're not going to screw
You're not
around
gonna
too
do
much.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some people that still do. But what happens with those people? The air marshal, he probably takes some time, lets the situation progress. When he feels like it's time to de-escalate and or step in, he steps in.
I think
go time.
that is more important than trying to hire a person per court for an official.
No,
And
I
I
agree
think
with that.
it's a perfect job for a CO or COs to be able to walk around because they should be very spun up on all the rules and know when to call something.
Read Travis's real quick, Bill.
Travis says, how is telling people how to dress or what to wear, or you got to stand up and not sit down, going to grow the sport? This is actually, can I take this one?
Yeah, I want you to.
They want bag companies stamped, but don't show what people are throwing on live streams. It's cornhole, not politics. So a big deal here. Like, how are they going to tell people how to dress? Number one, it's only on center court that they're going to say something like that because, again, they're looking for sponsors. They're looking to be able to grow it like that. How you pay people more? Number one, sponsorships are massive in being able to do something like that. If you get a TV deal and they pay you to be on TV, that is insane money to be able to, I would say, trickle down to, top players and things like that for people winning. Not only that, I don't know, maybe not paying as much for jerseys and things like that.
Right.
Like, there are many benefits that could happen for something like that. And something as easy as just looking I guess what they would deem professional, or most businesses would deem professional if you were to be on TV or a live stream. I think that answers a lot of that. How does it grow the sport? Well, if the money grows in the sport will grow. 100%.
100%.
Let's say the ACO offered $1 million tournament. How many people do you think would show up?
Yeah, how many people?
We got to take it to the extreme.
Right. How many people would unsign or void ACL contracts just to play in this one possible
How many
tournament?
people would go start practicing right now to go sign in?
Right.
Like, not if it was a week. Let's say, hey, in 2 years we're having $1 million tournament. You know how many people would freaking wake up and practice cornhole all the time?
How do you get there? You look professional. You sound professional.
Right.
And then you get a deal with somebody that is willing to put their company on the line and sponsor an entire organization based off of their look, feel, and sound. That's how you get the money. That's why you're able to tell people. You're not telling people what to do completely, Travis. I mean, this isn't a socialist like organization. Walk like this, talk like this. It's a couple things to help us possibly earn more money for the ACO or the sport in general, so that it can grow, so that more money can be given to the players who deserve it and have earned it throughout the years of playing cornhole.
Or you can put majors in more locations and things like that.
Right.
Places where you can, like, I'm not going to get crazy into that. We're going to move on with this comment, though. It says they want companies stamped, or excuse me, they want bad companies stamped, but don't show what people. And I agree. I 100% agree. We try to call it out every time. And they do too on the stream. They say, oh, this person's throwing these bags and this person's throwing those bags. But sometimes you don't know what the bags are. There's 70 freaking bag companies. It's crazy. Sometimes people are throwing bags and I'm like, I'm not familiar with what they're throwing. Sometimes we get up and we try to grab the bag and look at it. Now, if you're saying that you can't see the bags on the live stream because sometimes maybe the camera equipment or something like that isn't up to the ESPN level, or a level to where, look, those cameras are like $1,500 a piece just to look over the boards if you want to be able to read what something says on a bag. I wish we had that money to be able to upgrade our stream, because that is something that's on our agenda to be able to do, is buy those cameras to make sure it is the absolute cleanest look and everybody knows what bags they are. I completely agree with that comment, though. I think that all those bags should be called out. I think that exit interviews, especially for the people that win, they should have their bags there sitting in front of them. They should be offered an opportunity to be able to thank their sponsors after every win on the live stream exit interview. 100%. Couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah. I think vaping is going to be a hard one. This is kind of where I want to transition into vaping, because that could be the next one we could talk about. If it's a rule for center court, it should be for the entire venue. We just talked about that. That's what Miggy's saying in here.
Yep. I agree.
Coleman says you ain't no snitch, ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I got a neck tattoo. That's what you expect from me. Same, brother. Where's my neck tattoo? Is it on this side?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, never finished.
It's over there. Okay, I don't see anything in here. Yeah, they're just talking crap to each other. I don't make enough to police at majors. Well, Todd, maybe you can. That's what sponsorships could do.
Yeah.
That's what sponsorships could do. Okay. I think I want to read Brayton's. As far as sponsors, how are they going to expect a return on their investment? ROI. What is he trying to say? What's ROI?
Brayton English says, as far as sponsors, how are they going to expect a return on their investment?
That's what it is.
Yeah,
okay.
ROI.
That's the biggest problem to solve to attract new sponsors or even keeping the current ones.
Right. So
I get that.
Okay.
That's a good question.
I mean, number one, beer companies. That's what I would be looking for. How do they get an ROI on that? It's pretty easy. A beer company or something like that, you offer their selection of beers at the venue.
Or maybe only their beers.
Yeah, like Coors. Coors has I think 30 different types of beer to include Blue Moon and things like that.
Yeah, Coors, Anheuser-Busch.
Anheuser-Busch has probably 50 different types.
Yeah.
That's one. I would target places like that. Another one could be local places, and that's what we try to do with Clarksville's Third Base here in Clarksville. I mean, they sponsored us, and we were super excited. This is our first time ever. How many people out of everybody in here, went to Clarksville's Third Base? Probably not that many, and that it makes me feel bad because that's how we try to do it. So that return on investment, I mean, it's a legitimate thing to say because, well, you got to be able to get players and get things spending money at these local businesses to do something like that. So I agree.
Okay, Bill. Vaping. Let's talk about vape. I think vaping is a quick one, folks. I cannot believe that people are actually upset about it. It is something that I see it everywhere. And I think the big reason that people are upset about it and why it's even talked about, because if people were smoking cigarettes on center court, it'd be shut down this fast.
100%.
A joint, right? A pipe, a bong, an actual hookah, right? It's shut down this fast. But folks, what has happened here, and this is going to be my personal opinion, hardcore. Vapes are probably the most addictive tobacco we've ever seen in our lives. The addiction rate of vapes, the amount of people now that smoke vapes compared to cigarettes ever or chew tobacco or any other tobacco nicotine related thing is through the roof. So society has normalized vapes are just everywhere.
I think in the 70s when you could smoke on an airplane,
well, maybe.
A lot of people say, you know what, I think.
But then it got eliminated because it got out of hand, right? And I think we're seeing something in the same sort of fashion here with vaping. That everybody just normalized it, and since it smells good, it's fine, right? It doesn't smell like a cigarette, so it's fine. If the venue says no smoking, folks, it's very simple. You can't smoke anything, right?
Yeah.
And if it says tobacco free, guess what? You also can't dip in there. If it's seen, you should be told to stop. If the venue said no alcohol allowed inside, it would be no alcohol allowed inside.
Right.
And this is the rules of a venue more than it is the ACO here, to be honest.
And people sneak that stuff. It gets snuck into places like that. I think mainly they're talking about doing it openly as you're walking around and stuff like that to where and look, if the venue bans it, the venue bans it.
Right.
But when you say, hey, no outside drinks, people are sneaking in outside drinks, little fireballs.
Well, and people are sneaking a vape and freaking blowing it under their shirts and stuff. It's still happening.
I think the big deal, and this is my opinion, if I were to sit there and be kind of pragmatic, would be like, hey, if you're doing it, you better not do it in front of freaking anybody or the live stream or anything like that. I think that's...
But also don't do it in the bathroom because you'll set off a fire alarm.
Yeah. Todd, I think you're correct. It's a damn dab pens. Yeah, I don't think it's vaping. It's a dab pens. We've smelled that numerous times.
Anything. And I agree with what everybody's comments were about how people smell bad with alcohol and stuff like that. But let's be honest, alcohol for one is allowed inside of 98% of venues we go to. It's allowed. It's legal. Okay,
and that's how most venues are probably making that back the money or making a lot of return on their investment. There is the alcohol.
I'm just trying to see the reason that anybody should be vaping on center courts, let alone while they play. I just cannot find the reasoning. You know, like I don't know. I don't get it, right? I don't get the argument. What do you think the argument is? But I just really want you to play devil's advocate here because I can't understand why somebody would fight, or somebody in the chat. Why are you fighting for vaping to be on center court? Because I can't figure out a good reason for it. I can't
fight for it. Yeah,
just to let people just to fight something.
Just because it's to do what we want to do while we're playing. I think
Right.
that's really the only reason, which you and I both know isn't like a great argument whatsoever. But I think Ashton says it lowers people's stress on center court. I don't know if you're that addicted, right? I don't know if it lowers people's stress that much because at that point it's just kind of one of those things that you do all the time. It's one of the I don't know. I don't want to say oral fixation, but it's something that it's a habit, right? It's something that you do.
Thanks for the stars, Chad.
Chad, thanks, man. I appreciate that, big dog. Really do. So I don't know, calming the nerves on something like that. So how they got rid of smoking in a lot of areas was that nobody cared if you smoke somewhere, but secondhand smoke affects me, and you're blowing that into the air.
Right.
Does vape do the same thing? Is that the same argument for why venues won't have it? I don't know. I
just really think that if you're finding this issue, this is what you use to calm the nerves. It's a habit, like Scotty's saying. It just brings more view to what I'm saying of how addictive this stuff has become. Yeah. That you feel uncomfortable to not be able to smoke nicotine and literally poison your body even while you're playing cornhole in the middle of the biggest game of your life.
Yeah.
I mean, and like I said, I'm sorry, folks. That's a little harsh. I get that. I understand that. We all have vices and we all have our own things that we deal with at the end of the day. I think
that's probably what it is. And all the arguments that are like, come out in any different way. It's more of, it's what I do. I pick vaping because you have to go outside to smoke.
Right.
And that's probably the best argument on it. It's just, hey, it's something that I do. And all they're saying is, hey, not on center court and not in a venue if the venue bans it.
Yeah.
And that's
I think if they ban it, I think it helps out everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, this, like I said, but if they ban alcohol, I'd have the same reasoning for it, right? I mean, it'd be an uproar. It would be an absolute uproar.
Oh, I agree. I'd have the exact same reasoning.
It's never bad for you,
yeah.
right? It's not bad for you that you can't vape inside of a building anymore, right? It's good that you're going to take a few hours and not smoke, that you have to go outside to go smoke. It's much better for your lungs than just puffing it every 45 seconds because you feel like you habitually have to, right? And you could say the same argument for alcohol, right?
Yeah.
And I would completely agree with that. And I drink. You know what I mean? So I completely understand. It's just vaping is the new thing, right? That is like alcohol.
Dude, Bryce is getting banned.
Bryce, you're not.
Bryce, stop. You bring slides on center court, I'm going to personally kick you off center court.
Jack Harcrow says no vaping allowed at the Rudy Jones tournament.
No, okay. All right.
Hey, that's that. I'm okay with that. If you make rules,
Parker
stick with them.
Burgess, same thing. Look at that. Totally agree. Yeah, those guys are slides kids, man.
We already went over the slides.
Yeah,
like
y'all,
I said,
y'all missed the.
If you come to our
discussion.
court, especially Parker or Bryce, Bill and I will take you down.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
Physically.
100%.
This is not a threat. It's a promise.
I got Bryce. You got Parker.
Good luck.
I hope they play doubles. You know what I mean?
We could get one side.
You two need to get together and play doubles. We're going to put you on center court. 100%. If I see you guys playing doubles, I'm going to get you over there for streaming the dang tournament. And if you're wearing slides, I'm tackling you, Bryce.
All right, Bill. Vaping, we're good.
Vaping, we're good.
Slides,
done.
Open-toed shoes, we're good.
We're good. We're done.
Okay, what's next? Zukas. Okay, and Zuka is tough.
No. Okay, so Zuka's not tough.
Zuka is tough because the verbiage was Zuka.
Right, that's tough. It shouldn't have just been Zuka. It should be,
What do you call it, though?
You don't call it Zuka unless Zuka's going to pay them to call it Zuka.
What do you call it, though? No rolling
personal chair.
Seats?
Yeah, personal chairs. And I'm not talking about personal as in like, oh, you brought a chair, from the sidelines to the center court.
So
here.
no camping chairs.
No chairs that you brought to the venue yourself. If you need a chair, it will be provided to you on center court. It should be something like that because they have chairs there and they can bring that chair. even though they might be the steel ones that hurt your butt when you sit down and stuff like that.
There isn't a lot
At
of
least you
sitting
get to
on
sit
center
down.
court. There's really not. Even people that bring Zukas, and this was their argument, like, where am I supposed to sit down? We do a lot of center court streaming, folks. It is very rare to see somebody sit down at all. It's pretty rare.
Jacob, if you wear Heelys for singles, I'm putting you on center court just to see you Heely.
Yeah, I'll
to
make the
east
noise
side.
every single time.
100%. Dude, if you do that,
Every time.
100%, dude, you're on center court all day.
Toe socks.
You have to win
No.
every game though, and you have to do your Heelys every time you walk back and forth.
No, only when he scores.
Oh.
When he doesn't score, gets scored against, he has to walk.
He has a tiptoe down there, right? Oh, dude, I love it.
Oh man. Okay, but Zuka's bill, I think that hopefully when the ruling comes out, it's a little more specific. Because my question is, what if you bring a backpack over there with
What
your
if we make
bags
a
in it?
CBC?
What if we make a CBC, Cornslingers? Oh gosh, it's still Bagco because it's a bag. I can't think about it.
Well, it's another bag that we
Yeah,
offer.
the CBC, the carrier bag. Carrier.
We'll give it a name just like we do a bag. It'll be I don't know,
Corn bags, bag carrier.
bum bag.
CBC. No, we can't call it that.
CBC bum bag.
Um,
CBC.
But that is the case. So it needs to be specified somehow because there are people that have what you might call knockoff Zukas, right? And if you roll that up and they go, no, Zuka's allowed on center court, it's like, dude, this is 100% not a Zuka, you know? And if the rules say Zuka, it probably needs to have a little R, right? The little copyright guy.
They're gonna
right?
they're gonna figure out the proper language
verbiage,
to say,
yeah.
hey, don't yeah. So the big deal is last night on the taco, he said if you need a chair, like they're not against having a chair out there for you if you want
Right.
to sit down, if you've been throwing all day, if you you can't stand, stuff like that. Like trust me, I get it. 8 a.m. till friggin' 1 in the morning sometimes. It's ridiculous if you have to stand up the entire time, throw bags. You get freaking tired. But they're not saying you can't have a freaking chair out there. Just say, hey, if you require a chair or need a chair, they'll grab it for you. What I would actually like is behind the backdrops, put a couple chairs. And those are the stream court chairs. If you need one, you can move it out there. And that's that.
No, yeah, when people ask, I need to sit down while I play, they will provide a chair. That was said.
Right.
Also, if we set up a center court, I'm going to do my best to just ensure we have 4 chairs around center court immediately.
Dude, Todd, you're the CBC
it's
rollout.
the CBC rollout. It's
I
really
love
good.
it.
It's really good.
I love it.
Now, I was laughing at Scotty's right here because that came from the chat. Jacob Coleman walks his bag to the wall ready for his push shots. He's talking about his foot fouls. It's pretty funny.
Wait, what did Parker say?
He said, Dylan, if I see you wearing your sandals on center court or your sandals, I'm jumping over y'all's commentary stand and taking them off if I can't wear them.
Hey,
Sounds
we're
like,
not.
Sounds like players only, dude. Sorry.
It's players only. So
I'm not a player, dude. I'm just a commentator. If you see me play cornhole, I don't know. I'm just out there learning how you guys do the shots so well so that I can commentate even better. That's why me and Bill play. It's actually research. We're not even players. We're like undercover players.
We don't play to win. We just play to have fun.
Well, we play to learn.
But to play to learn, yeah.
That's
so
it.
we can make sure that your shots are
also,
absolutely
Parker,
technically
I
accurate.
will invite you to come try to do that. You will leave injured. I'm not afraid to hurt a minor.
I'm not afraid. I like it. All right, what else we got here?
But Zukas is a question, Bill. Do you think a backpack is okay? If you brought it over and put it behind the score tower, I would say no. Right?
I would say no.
But all this verbiage needs to be out there, right? Because it looks unprofessional on the stream, and that's the vibe of
There
what
needs
was
to just
said.
be a caveat, and that caveat needs to be consistent because new things are going to come up throughout
Mm-hmm.
the season. So the caveat needs to be, hey, if the tournament director finds anything that they deem unprofessional on center court, they can call it out. And this
we just dislike that because of the subjectivity of professionalism.
We dislike that, but okay, so tomorrow we're fine. We have no Zukas, we have no open-toed shoes, we
No
have no
vapes.
sleeveless shirts, we have no vapes. Everything looks wonderful, and then somebody's freaking hawking a huge what is it? Chewing
dip?
tobacco.
Yeah.
A dip into their cup and spitting on it and setting it up and spitting on it and then setting it down and throwing. And so that may be something that they would deem unprofessional for like ESPN. Would you do that on ESPN? Would you do it? Yeah, I don't know.
Would you do it in front of your granny?
There are other things we can't even think about right now that are going to happen sometime in the future. So as long as you had that caveat in there to say, hey, this, I guess we'll have to put it in the rule book every time we encounter one of these things. And those things would be in the rule book. So it's subjective for a short time.
Right.
Because you can't cover everything, or else the rule book would be, a freaking dictionary. It would be
because I
600
think
pages.
that something was said earlier. It's like when some of the younger players or just anybody comes out wearing pajama pants, right? And I think this would fall under
That's
whatever
another
clause
one. Right.
you're speaking of, right? It would be some sort of clause that if XYZ personnel deems what you're wearing unprofessional, you will be asked to change and or removed from center court. Which brings me to my ultimate question, Bill, that I wanted to talk to you about earlier.
Okay.
Do you think that you will be able to opt out of a center court match?
I did see a comment like that. Hey, I want to opt out of something like this. No, I don't think you can. No.
Nobody can.
I don't
So if
think
you are
can.
pulled to center court, you must play there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Anybody that wears slides, I'm pulling your matches. Good luck.
Yeah. Parker, we'll see you. On
I'm
center
making
court,
everybody
big guy.
change shoes. We're gonna have clown shoes out there. If you don't have them, we got you.
If you don't have them, we got clown shoes for
Look at
you.
this flop Heelys.
Complimentary shoes.
Yeah, the complimentary shoes with concrete bricks. There's bricks.
I don't think you
to
can
them.
opt out. I don't think you
But
can.
that is a question, right? That's a valid question.
Yeah.
But at this point, especially once the rules hit in the rule book, folks, if it says no slides, no open-toed shoes, if you decide to play with those shoes until you get a center court match, and then you have a backup pair, then that's what's going to have to happen. If you decide to not bring a backup pair, it will most likely be, if I was in charge, I played the game pretty harsh, black and white, you'd have to forfeit the match. I mean, this is how I would play this. It's like if your only shirt was cut off sleeves, you never expected to make center court, right? But hey, your match got pulled to center court, and you ain't got nothing. You better buy something, or you forfeit.
Yeah. Change shirts to somebody else.
This is how serious this stuff needs to be, right? And I think I agree with the same thing for foot fouls. I don't even like the aspect of your opponent has to call it out. I like the roaming CO. If they see a foot foul, it's a foul. I want this guy calling it out 6 boards away. Foul! Walking down. I mean, a beeline, a nice walk.
Right in the middle of everybody's game. Embarrasses the crap out of that person.
A nice walk down.
For their Heelys slipping up and going over the line a little bit. Yeah.
Never moves eye contact from whoever committed the foot foul. They go down. Which bag did you throw? If it's in the hole, they pick it up. They throw it as far as they can.
Why don't they throw it back at the person?
That works too.
Okay.
If it's on the board, same thing. But like, dead bag. They just go foot foul. As soon as they get down there, dead bag. Grab it. Done.
Yeah.
I mean, this is. I mean,
and then goes to Chris Clark or LaBelle and says, "Hey, there is a dead bag on court 42. This person foot fouled." And then they have to announce that over the whole thing so everybody watches.
Jacob Coleman.
I'm joking, man.
Third push shot, foot foul in the last 22 minutes. He's out of the building. Banned. Okay, but as much as we're joking about that, I'm actually serious about rules being enforced to a T.
Yeah.
Because leaving it up to the players don't want to be jerks to each other. Everybody understands what it takes to get there.
I agree.
Everybody understands mistakes.
Yeah.
But let's think of this argument, and I had this conversation with somebody just yesterday. When somebody throws out a turn, big match, center court, nobody goes, oh, you can have the bag back. Right? You might do it in the backyard tournament or at your local blind draw, right? But center court match, championship, that's a dead bag. And you're throwing 2 bags after that if you're the opponent. You just know that these rules are enforced. This is the rule. This is what's happening. There's no talk about it. There's no, oh, I saw it, but it didn't actually happen, right? It should be the same way with a foot foul or with a distraction or with a open-toed shoe throw. I don't care what it is, right? But nobody argues with that, right? The throw out a turn, as long as it's a big enough game. Should be the same way when you're talking about foot fouls. It shouldn't be up to the player, right? Nobody should be left to where they have to make somebody a victim, or somebody has to feel like they did something to hurt somebody else.
And I hate that, because not only do you get in that other person's head, but you're kind of in your own. You're like, when I sit there and I see something like that, like even before this, I was sitting on the side of a game while this person was playing, throwing freaking amazing, and this person was stepping over the line every time. instead of me saying something during their game, because I felt like if I said something, I would screw them up on this game. I pulled out my phone just on the side and recorded it a little bit, and then after the game, I had them come up, and I was like, hey, man, you're doing this every time you throw. And every time it was a football. Literally every time.
I remember this.
Should I have called him out? No, I don't want to be the asshole. I came here to freaking play, but I want everybody to play by the damn rules. But, I'm not the hired
And you want your win
beef.
to feel legitimate, right? And if you were to stop this game
if I stop that game and I'm
right.
not even in that game, you know what I mean? But, again, if there's this veil of CEOs walking around that do this once or twice, that are allowed to do this, that have the authority to be able to do this, I think you see a lot less of that. I really think you do.
Like I said, the best case scenario for me, for foot fouls especially, is a line laser across the front, right? Just like bowling.
Yeah.
Bowling
So
is a player,
but
a player is bowling, right? In bowling is player versus player, but neither player has to enforce a foul on the other. It's known, they're buzzed, it's a dead ball, you're screwed, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same type of situation, right? It's a foot foul. You went over the line. In bowling, would it be, if there was no buzzer line, right, and your opponent saw you go an inch over, would they call it? I would say yes. In bowling, right? So why aren't we doing the same type of thing here?
I mean, somebody would have to be there to watch. Like, I'm thinking about freaking throwing my bags in the hole. I'm not watching for somebody's toe to go over the line either. Like, I'm not doing those things actively to be like, oh, man, I can't wait to call this person on it and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Shoot, I may foot foul, so I have no idea if I do. I try to set my foot right on the front of the line and then throw. And that's it. I don't.
See, and Jacob Coleman, I want to read this comment, right?
Yeah.
And he said, I did give it back, talking about give it back at Clarksville in a money game. I ain't trying to win that way.
Right.
But the bottom line, and that's the thought process. That is the normalized thought
That's
process.
hey, I'm not going to call you out because you know what I mean?
But he said, because I don't want to
happens.
win that way.
It
goes,
happens.
if the person, though, Coleman, was to walk down there with that bag and throw him in the hole, at what point do you make your determination where this cheating is too far?
Yeah.
At what point is the cheating too far?
Yeah.
Right? If they walk up 10 feet and they throw the bag in the hole, their first bag, then they come back. They do that every time. At what point are you going to go, oh, well, I mean, I don't want to win this way, but man, you're being crazy, right? And this 1 inch of a foot foul is the same, right? And like me and Bill talk about going to extremes, as somebody walking the bag down there and dropping it in the hole.
Right.
This is the same thing we've talked about.
Yeah.
At what point, as a player, do you go, I need to enforce the rules because this is a sport? This is a sport, right? In your backyard with your buddies is a different story. When you're in the grass with uneven boards or a sidewalk or whatever, right? But when you're out there playing for money and you've spent $80 on a doubles ticket, $40 on a singles ticket, let's talk about worlds, $100 for a singles ticket. Somebody steps over the line, you should have no issue being able to call them out, and they should bring no argument to you that you're a jerk.
I like that, putting a dollar price on it, right? Like, I traveled here. I'm spending my money at a hotel. I'm spending my money, buying food here the whole time. Yeah. It's very expensive to do these things, especially if you don't win.
Let me get some
or
ice,
even
Bill.
place. And
you need
stuff
some
like
ice?
That. Yeah, I need a little bit of ice, please.
Yeah, but continue.
But no, I actually like that you put the dollar price on it and stuff like that, because it's like, if these things are happening, and I'm not going to say you're losing a game because of that. Like, and that's kind of the tough thing, right? Like, hey, this person's cheating, they're stepping over the line every time and stuff. Maybe you're not losing a game because of that. Maybe you're winning the game when they're doing it. I don't think it matters. But things like that, when there is money on the line like that, and you have to pay that much to go to these tournaments, that should be enforced. It should be.
Right, and it just sucks that it's become a way where the player calling it out feels like they're doing the wrong thing.
I don't like that.
And I don't like that either. But like you said, if we do the thing... If the thing was where there's CEOs roaming around, right, it would kind of take a lot of that out of it. It would take a lot of that out of it.
I think it would.
Because there's that inherent feeling that you're being watched. Everybody knows, like, let's say you're at work and you're slacking off a little bit, right? If your boss is to walk in, what do? You start working. Most people, right? And
whether they're watching or not, the boss is on site somewhere, so you better just
you're
get your
working.
stuff
You don't
done.
know where he's at. You're doing peripheral checks,
Yep.
right? And it should be the same way when you're playing. I'm not saying you should feel anxious the whole time, but you should just know that there's somebody there that could possibly enforce the rules on you at any point, so you need to play accordingly.
You're going to tighten
how
up
it
when
should
you're
be.
practicing at home. All right. We're done with. I don't even know how we got on foot fouls. I don't even know how that happened.
Well, we're past vaping. We're past Zukas.
The last thing, there's two more things. One of them, I think we're going to be pretty quick on this one. Guns out. Lavelle, I saw you in the chat a little while ago, dude. You love my gun sitting out there, man. I love it too. Actually, excuse me, that's Mike Cornhole's.
Okay, one time.
Dave Dean, guns out, not professional on center court. I like what Miggy said earlier on this too. Miggy said that, hey, if they enforce it for center court, it should just be every court for these rules.
Which is everything we spoke to.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. If it's on one, it
What up,
should
Beaver?
be on the rest. So, yeah, I'm with you on that one. The sleeveless shirt thing, I don't know. I mean, it's a rule.
Like you said, I just don't.
Should it not be one? Should it be one?
Like I
It's
said,
been in the rule book.
There were speaks last night on the taco about headwear. I would be unhappy if I was unallowed to wear a hat on center court. But
Right.
would I do it for the sake of me trying to win that game on center court? Absolutely. If I couldn't wear a hat at all, I would feel kind of weird about it. But I've also been, if I go to a job interview, I never wear a hat, right? It's just known, right? These are things, if in the military, when you walk into a building, you take your hat off. Like, these are things that I've dealt with my whole life, are these small little
And you're not advocating for
rules.
hats off in cornhole or anything like that. What
No,
you're
no,
saying
no.
is that
I'd rather not.
that you know what the standard of professionalism should be at certain times, right?
I'm just saying, if
Like,
there
it's
is a
ingrained
rule,
in you.
I will follow the rule.
Right.
Not because I'm just a rule follower, but because I respect the people and I respect the organization and what they are trying to do. Regardless of if I agree or disagree with it, I will still follow the rule to show respect to the organization, because me disobeying the rule never grows the organization. All it does is cause animosity, right, and an uproar, and it never gains sponsors, it never gains money, it never gains value to the organization. It doesn't help. You sit there and you do what you're told, and you make a good point later in the future. If you have a reasoning behind it, you speak to the people that you think you need to speak to.
That's why we're here right now, though. If
This
you have
is what
reasoning
we
behind
do.
this is what we do. If you have a reasoning behind something, bring it in the chat and let's talk about it. I want to know what the reasoning is. If you don't agree with what we say, that's what I want to freaking see in the chat.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it.
Why should you have a
Just
Zuka on
because
center
we're
court?
here talking about it and we have a voice that's talking to everybody does not mean you are not correct.
And something I'd like to say is we'd rather, which this doesn't happen often for us, but we'd rather people argue with our opinions rather than agree with them.
Yeah.
But not once in here have we heard a good reason for why you should wear open-toed shoes, why you should be able to vape on center court, or why you should have your Zuka on center court. Because if somebody is to bring us a legitimate, reasonable statement, we will take it into consideration. We'll go, you know what? Either you're right? That's a great statement. We didn't think about it. Or we'll go, you're wrong for XYZ in our opinion. That is what this podcast is about. Once we get to the Family Feud section, is let's feud it out with some of these controversial things that not everybody is seeing eye to eye on. Let's bring light to them. Let's make sure we all are in the same understanding in the aspect of growing the sport.
Of growing the sport is very, very, very important for us specifically. I know it's the ACO's mission to be able to grow the sport. I know it's a lot of people. So I kind of want to challenge everybody in here for one thing, and this may be a topic next week. I don't know. We're going to make a post about it this week, but if you have ideas on how to grow the ACO, right? If you have ideas, you're sitting there, you're at home, you're like, man, I just wish they would do this. So many more people would play. Or I just wish they would do that. We could bring in so many new people. I want to hear them. So we're going to make a post this week. Think about that for a little bit. Give it a couple days, because I want to pick those arguments apart and say, hey, this could really work, or this is a freaking terrible idea. Like, you know what I mean? Wearing slides on center court. Does that grow or reduce the sport if you ban it? Honestly, with people watching it on live streams and stuff, it may grow it more. I don't know. But it's so negligible at something like that, just because of slide, that it's not that big of a deal, or not being able to pull your Zuka up to center court. But I want to hear the real things. What do you guys actually think? What do you think could grow it more than not? And that's I want to argue that next week. I really want to, because I have some great ideas, and I'm going to give you one of my ideas right now, just one.
Send it, Bill.
Okay. Does everybody remember center court from Worlds? Does everybody remember
the big double mat? The double mat. The center lane.
The entire lane going down. Blue side on this side, red side on that side, white all the way down the middle with the ball, right? Red, white, and blue sitting there. But the whole lane, the entire freaking setup, not the massive 64-inch TV, which nobody else can see and stuff like that.
Right.
But the actual lane. I would argue that should be on every center court. Every single
major
one. Yeah, I would argue that should be there, especially, I mean, it should be necessary if it's live streamed. I think that is the most professional looking piece of a cornhole court, and I think people at home, when they tune in and see that, like, what is going on here? This is freaking cool as heck.
Yeah.
That's
you're right.
one of mine.
That's
to
a great
grow
one.
the sport, I think that would be amazing to have.
That's a great one. But this is
so
something.
you guys think of stuff like that, so we can talk about it.
The last thing we'll talk about, Bill, before we get off, is I want to talk about sportsmanship. I know we put it out there, that CBC put it out there, that we're going to talk about sportsmanship this week.
Right.
What it should look like, what it can do for the sport, and kind of how it is right now. And I just want to lead off by saying I think sportsmanship is unfortunately in a downtrending position, right? Where you're seeing, and a lot of this is because the younger generation is really good, right? And
they're great.
And it's not the younger generation's fault for immaturity. We all dealt with this growing up. You know, I wrestled for a long time, and I used to be a terrible loser until it took my coach and my dad and my other coach to reel me in and go, you're acting terrible. And you need to fix it, or we're going to kick you. You're going to be done. You know? Because I used to throw my headgear. I used to cry. 14-year-old, you just cry when you lose. I don't even know what you're crying about. But I was crying. I was crying, you know?
Yeah.
And because I expected to win, and then you lose, and then you're mad. You want to quit the sport, and you do all this crazy stuff. You know? And I used to do that. So I understand when kids are doing this, right?
Right.
But it never made me better, is what I want to say.
Right.
Is that all this bad sportsmanship or being crazy afterwards, it never did anything good for me.
Right.
Never made me better.
And it doesn't, and everybody kind of learns that at a different age, though.
Right.
Too. You know, I mean, well, some people never learn it, but most people learn it at every different age about bad sportsmanship and stuff like that. How it's going to affect you. You know, it's not going to help you in the future.
Right.
You know, it may make you mad in that 1 minute. I would say I get angry sometimes when I lose. You know what I mean? Is it bad sportsmanship, though? Do I cuss at the other person? Do I not, say, hey, good game, and walk? I do that literally every time on a win or a loss. Even the losses that, what was I doing that game? Like, even the losses that I'm just like, I should win this 10 out of 10 and never lose. I still look at the person. I say, good game. I give them a little dap, and I walk away. If I'm mad at myself later, I'm going to be mad at myself. But I don't think that's what we're talking about. If you're talking about sportsmanship, that is that, hey, good game. Yeah. You got me.
That is what I'm talking about.
That's what it is.
Mostly it is the immediate reactions after game, and a lot of it is actually happening during game as well, right? Visual frustrations, verbal outbursts, I would say hand gesture outbursts, right? Throwing of bags.
Beaver.
Right?
I've seen you do a beaver.
Oh, Beaver's definitely done it.
Beaver's done it, yeah. I think I got you on a bunch of clips, and I can't use those clips because you do it.
And there's no place for it, right? If we are all in here to grow the sport, because a lot of these people that are making or have bad sportsmanship or something, they also want the payouts to be bigger.
Are we getting into sportsmanship?
Yeah.
We are. Okay. All right.
Are we not? Do you not want to?
We got 10 minutes, and that's it.
Okay. But the same people that are acting sometimes out of hand, I would say, that's my personal opinion, are the same ones that want bigger payouts, and they want the sport to, and they want to be on ESPN, they want to do this, they want to do that. It's like, what you're doing right now is actually deterring everything that you want to happen big picture.
Yep.
That is the issue with it, right? Is that when you act this way, it is never attracting big sponsors to the sport.
That's
because it goes,
true.
Why would I sponsor Cornhole when I see the youngest, best group of these people acting absurd? Why would somebody put their logo on you when you do that?
Bryce, I don't know. And maybe Bryce is directing this towards you, but I agree that is unprofessional.
That
is not
happened
good
last
sportsmanship.
weekend at an ACL Open. On a live stream. A top level player. I'm not going to name names on this one. I just don't want to get in that battle right now. But yeah, top level player lost the match. Took a hard stomp on the board, like a 1 foot stomp on the board. Didn't break the board, didn't do anything, right? But on a live stream, it is. I'm telling you right now, folks. If you're to do that with CBC, it is in our contract that we don't put up with things like that, especially publicly displayed.
Don't like it.
We've dealt with one small issue this year, and that's it. A great conversation was had. It's okay. You know what I mean? And we're never somebody that's going to kick somebody off immediately either, depending on the situation, case by case basis.
Right.
We want to keep you. We want you to learn. You know what I mean? But you have to uphold what our values are and what your values actually are. Because in that heat of the moment, you're not being yourself. And that's the thing, is learning how to take yourself out of that. Right.
And I understand the frustration. 100% understand frustration. Understand sometimes why there is poor sportsmanship. I've just never been a person in myself to where I could do that. I don't. Have you ever seen me get out of line after I lost a game? On the court.
I can tell visually by looking at your face, but never
100%.
Never
you can look like that when you 100%. And you can go talk to yourself later. You could do that. You could do whatever you want after the fact. But that sportsmanship is super important. If you lost a game because you played bad, which I do all the time, I know deep down inside I played bad. I could have won that game, and it wasn't working for me. But that does not mean I get to throw my bags down and try to break them, or stomp on a board, or freaking, or use profanities.
Flip somebody off.
Especially on center court, use profanity, or flip somebody off, or even my own bags, flip them off. That is all. Those are all things that's like those small things. Let's say we had a sponsored pro. Right, and they lost a game, and they got so angry that they flipped their bags off on the other side of the court and did that. I don't want that person throwing for our company. I'm sorry, I don't, because if you're flipping the bags off, that's flipping my company off. You know what I mean? That's sitting there saying, hey, that bag didn't go in. Screw that bag. I hate that bag. And it's just like, you threw it, dude. You know what? Calm down. You threw a bad bag. So what? It
is a tough thing because we're seeing some top level players act this way.
Right.
So it's a tough topic, but I want people to understand that you're not growing the sport by doing it. You're not getting yourself more sponsors by doing this. And I want to use Jeremiah Ellis as an example because Jeremiah Ellis will chirp up. You know what I mean? He might look a little red in the face when he has bad shots. Jeremiah, win or lose, and he expects himself to win every single match. I talk to Jeremiah regularly, and I've known him, before Ellie's. Before Ellie's. We have known him before Ellie's existed and before he made what he's doing right now. But after every match, respectful. Win or lose. He respects his opponent because they beat him. He'd rather throw his best, but when somebody beats him, he respects that they beat them, and he shows them that respect, regardless of how he threw.
So a big thing, especially with Jeremiah, right, is the chirping. He gets fired up. They call it fired up. They call it chirping. There is such a fine line between good and bad sportsmanship and to chirp or get fired up for yourself. But there is a line. There definitely is a line on that. I don't think Jeremiah has ever crossed that because I think that line shows when you've disrespected somebody else. And I don't see him disrespecting somebody else because usually the players get involved in that too. If you take just this weekend, right? He played against Ethan Walker. They both went back and forth. Not really.
For only the first 10 points.
It was like a mutual. I wouldn't call it disrespecting, but it was a mutual agreement between them that they were going to talk a little bit of crap together, right? They did. They both did.
And Ethan ate it up, and Jeremiah was eating it up. They loved it. They both loved it.
So where that fine line exists, the next game he played Ryan Trader, and he ended up losing. They didn't say a word to each other the entire game. But when he lost, Ryan, gave the little wave because Jeremiah did that the game before.
Ethan.
Right, and you
I
see
like
that.
it.
But that was that fine line where Jeremiah knew, hey, it's okay to chirp against this person. It's not against that one. How do you know that line? I don't know. I'd have to sit down for a couple hours to try to figure that out.
And sometimes, too, you could chirp at somebody all day long. Like we saw, I think, Jeremiah chirp a little bit at Tony Smith, and you're not getting anything out of him. So at some point, you're just going to quit. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And there's some players that are like that, where we saw Jeremiah Jordan Power, where you could say the line very thin, right? At one point, I know Jordan Power said, "Get my bags out of the hole." Something, right?
Geez,
and then Jeremiah was going to get the bags. He took a step back. Joe Neested got the bags out, and then Jeremiah said he got them. And so but the line was that but they still hugged each other afterwards. They hugged each other afterwards,
okay, yeah,
right? After Jordan lost, right? Probably talking the most smack. Jordan Power was the guy that chirped the most, right? The biggest smack talker in the ACL, in the sport of cornhole.
And I
probably.
think he knows that Jeremiah is okay with that because Jeremiah can do it right back and do it too. And I that may be the line. There is a line, and it's very tough to define this specific line. If I really sat down for maybe 10 hours and sat there and really thought, what are the differences on these games and how they spoke to about these games, I think we could find it. But it's more of I guess a maturity thing to where you know when it's okay and you know when it's not okay. It's something inside. It's your morals. It might be your values, things like that.
Right, and you have some people like Devin Harbaugh, Jacob Gore. We're over the ear headphones. There's no chirping happen. There's no talking. We saw Devin Harbaugh last weekend in the game spike his own headphones on the ground because he couldn't. I think it was the second missed. Regular push shot. A shot for Devin that he hits 9 out of 10 times, 8 out of 10 times, right? Miss it twice to win the game and spikes his headphones, right? But I understand the frustration, but I do think that something like that is a little bit crossing the line on sportsmanship, right? You are an advocate of the sport. You are somebody that the younger players look up to, that the entire community of corn. I love Devin Harbaugh, man. I love the way he plays. He's probably one of the best shot shapers around.
And what I really love about Devin, he's not afraid to call somebody out on a rule.
100%. And he's
done
it multiple times. Yeah, he has. That's a fact. I like that.
Not afraid. And but that's what it takes. That is the only person that I can think of today and I've ever really thought of that actually called somebody out on something.
Yeah.
If you have any more examples of that, if anybody in here watching right now knows to where it's supposed to be this gentleman's game to where you're allowed to say, hey, you did this, let me go get an official or take a timeout and go get one. Anybody else that's done that other than Devin, let me know because I don't know of any other instances of that.
And I'm telling you right now, CBC knows of bags that are illegal. We know. Yeah, there's a lot of bags we can pick up and go, this is this, right? This is not enough this, too much that.
When he says illegal, he means doesn't meet the specifications for what a cornhole bag is supposed to be. And we know. There are many out there that aren't. We would never name anybody. We would never do it because we got our own thing going. We're doing what we do.
So, but this does kind of screw our own arguments where people should call people out.
Because I say that people shouldn't have to call other people out.
That is what
I'm saying that there's an official that does that stuff, right? And that's why we don't call people out on that because, number one, it's not me. We have our own thing going on. Yeah. I'm not going to sit there and look at everybody else.
I'm just saying center court, we will call people out on what is a center court rule.
Right.
If you come to the board with a set of BG Vikings at an ACO major, I'll tell you switch your bags. That's me or Bill. We'll tell you can't throw those bags here. That is point blank, right? If you come there with no sleeves, point blank, right? Whatever the rule becomes of open-toed shoes or whatever the variant of it becomes, we will enforce the rules that we have to because we are in some position of authority to uphold our own jobs.
If they are posted there,
yes,
and people are coming on the court that we are operating and they are not following the posted rules on there, then we're going to say something.
Or as
But that's
long as,
completely
and I think
different.
the tournament
you took
director.
a crazy segue from what we were talking
Usually,
about, and that's
yeah.
fine. And that's fine. That's fine.
That's me.
But it is an hour and a half, folks. That's gonna be it for tonight.
Yeah. Next week.
We could go a little on, but that's it.
Yeah. Let's be okay. God first, though, folks.
I love it. I love it.
Hey, thank
These
you
are
guys
topics
for
for
tuning
the next
in.
times.
Yeah,
These are
we have
topics
plenty
for
to talk
next
about every single week, and that's thanks to you guys. You know, we like that you guys use our platform to kind of, be who you want to be and say what you want to say. The only thing that I ask is that people don't make it a complaint fest. I don't want people coming in here just being crazy with no solution, right? If you're going to come to us with a complaint, with an issue, ensure that you have a solution. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or ask us for a solution. I'm completely okay with that. Our DMs are always open. CBC is here for the players, for the sport. This is Faith Family Four Baggers, CBC. I'm Dylan Ledbetter. This is Bill Lorman.
We are out, folks. Let's go. Cheers. Take your last sip of swing oil with
Thank you.
us anyway, but keep drinking if you guys would like to.